Hi, my name is Osmin, and I am the Chief Operating Officer of the Satoshi Block Dojo. Thank you so much for watching my presentation today. There are three parts to what I want to share with you today. And first, I'm going to tell you what I do and my team does at the dojo and what that means for you. Second, I'll share a little bit of knowledge about the blockchain and in particular the Bitcoin SV blockchain. And thirdly, I'm going to share my passion for entrepreneurship and show you why starting your own technology business could be the best choice you have ever made. So, why now? Why start a technology business now? It has never been a better time to become an entrepreneur. I'll give you 4 reasons why. Well, we have recent global events. I'm sure you can imagine which ones I'm referring to that took place between 2020 and 2021, combined with rapid technology growth. Together, these have shifted the odds in favor who are willing to take the leap. Those who we might call go-getters. Software is getting cheaper to use. This could be a huge cost to your business and makes your life easier if you can actually reduce the costs and build. Consumers are getting more savvy. They're more open to innovation and generally expect more and better. It's not always a given that incumbents will continue to dominate. The network effect is the strongest it's ever been. If you go onto the App Store or some other app store that you may know, then you will find that there are a plethora of apps which all look fantastic. UI is brilliant, branding is on message, all designed to be incredibly attractive, all competing for your attention and your download. Remote working, the fourth thing, is becoming normalized. Access to global chat talent is just starting to take off. Now, it's entirely reasonable to have a team that is co-located, but what is becoming more and more prevalent is having team members who you don't necessarily share the same time zone with. There's actually another issue as well, that women make brilliant entrepreneurs. I don't know if you've ever traveled much outside of Europe or the US. For example, my father's from Nigeria. If you've ever been to the markets in parts of Africa, parts of Asia and India, you'll notice one thing, that so many of the market traders are women. They are the ones who buy and sell every day. It's very, very normal for a lot of commerce, a lot of daily activity to be run by women. Nobody bats an eyelid. If you've ever run a household, the demands of having to manage a very young family, all the way up to grown children, require you to have multiple roles, to be multi-talented, to be a doctor, a nurse, a psychologist, a teacher, a lawyer, a banker, particularly. Now, if you think about how easily some of these activities translate to the world of business, operations, finance, vision, people management, all of these things are incredibly important in what it takes to start a business. So I'm hoping that I'm speaking to either somebody who has, or people who have started their own businesses, or people who are thinking about it. If you're thinking about doing it, then you're the person who I really want to speak to. Because if you are thinking about starting your own technology business and you want to be your own boss, but are worried about how to do it, at this Satoshi Block Dojo, we can help. Based on my experience, and for what it's worth, the very best time to start your own business is right now. Not when you're ready, not when you've got certain things out of the way. Now, of course, there will be certain features in your life that you might want to have straight. For example, if you're carrying a lot of debt, perhaps you might want to consider resolving some of those issues. But entrepreneurship is one of those things that is always best. If there's an opportunity that's presenting itself, always take the opportunity. It used to be that you would leave school or uni and then go to work for one of the big utilities. Usually it would be a job for life. Then the banks started to get in on the tech revolution of the 80s and snapped up all of the talent. That was what happened to me when I left university. Recently, the brightest and the best of all generations have gone to work for big tech. Great. But my point is, why go and work for Facebook when you can be the next Facebook or Apple or Google? I believe that the next technology revolution will happen using blockchain technology. And at the Satoshi Block Dojo, we incubate businesses who leverage blockchain technology and build their businesses using the tech. If you have an idea that you would like to talk to us about, then here's the link, blockdojo.io/apply. Now, this is the important thing here, that for those who we accept onto our program, we offer £10,000 in cash alongside £60,000 worth of support, important things like financial modelling, company incorporation, finding a potential client, mentoring, and of course, our unique 12-week incubation program. Once you enter our dojo, our incubator, you would have 12 weeks of incubation and mentoring with an R&D client. At the end of the 12 weeks, you present to our partners of our investor network. Those investors will say yes or no. And for those that do invest, you would receive £140,000 to last you approximately a year. And then that time would be used to build your business, to gain traction. And as you need more cash, you come back to us for the opportunity to raise a further anywhere between 1 to 2 million. So why are we so focused on blockchain? Well, in order to understand that, it's probably best to explain a little bit about what the technology is. You may have heard of Bitcoin, which is the original blockchain created for people and businesses to use along with its native token. For those who don't know what Bitcoin is, it combines three key areas: economics, network theory, and computer science. And it blends them into a harmonious and coherent whole to make a complete financial system. If you take anything away from my presentation today, it should be that Bitcoin, which uses the blockchain, is a financial system. Throughout our history, people have used ledgers to record economic transactions and property ownership. And those entries have been recorded in stone, parchment, wood, metal. Now, software. You can record ownership of any commodity using the ledger. And the ledger is part of what makes Bitcoin work. And this is where it gets really interesting, as for some today, the most valuable commodity on this planet is data. So I'm going to focus on that for a moment. Angela Merkel, Chancellor of Germany, once said that data will be the raw material of the 21st century, and she's right. Blockchain offers us a really neat way to directly buy, sell, and manage the integrity of our data. But why might we want to do that? Well, we do it all the time. Every time you pick up your mobile phone or open your laptop and connect to the internet, you are participating in the movement of data. We are either generating, distributing, or consuming it. Trillions of bytes per day flowing around our global system. Now, Bitcoin is defined as or rather, we define an electronic coin as a chain of digital signatures. And this was a statement made by Satoshi Nakamoto who is the inventor of Bitcoin. This is incredibly important because remember, we have this concept of property ownership. How do we often indicate ownership of something? Often using a signature. So if we have a chain of digital signatures, this helps us to track the movement of property, in this case, data, from one owner to the next. Bitcoin upgrades the internet. It follows the white paper, which was defined and written by Satoshi Nakamoto. But what kind of data can you buy on blockchain? Anything. You can buy and sell CBDCs, which is stands for central bank digital currencies, and the data associated with it. Audio, video, pictures, games, social media, text, of course, code, actual software code of all kinds, programs themselves, AI algorithms, search algorithms, even big data from corporates and enterprise. So if you're thinking about building a business and you're starting to develop an interest in blockchain, or indeed already are familiar with the technology, what kind of opportunities are there for new businesses which use Bitcoin? Well, have you ever tried to buy crypto? For most, that is the sum total of their interaction with blockchain. But there is so much more to the tech than just a bunch of coins in a wallet, as we saw. At the dojo, we help you to open up the magic box of the tech and use it to solve real-world problems. Here's one very pertinent real-world problem, which is the number of people who are unbanked or underbanked right now. At any one time, it's between 1.7 and 2 billion people. It's an awful lot of disenfranchised individuals. And why are they disenfranchised? Because the fees that the payment networks charge make it impossible for people living on less than $1 a day to make small, casual payments. What if you could disintermediate those expensive payment networks, out of the financial loop? Here's another example. Have you ever been sent a link to an article on the Washington Post? You click on the link, about to read, and then boom, a paywall in your face demanding that you subscribe for $8.99 or whatever. And all you want to do is read a paragraph. What if you could pay fractions of a cent just to read 1 or 2 paragraphs and get on with your day? Fact is that there is an entirely new industry that is ready to be born. And that industry is based on peer-to-peer micropayments. This will change not just the developing world, but everywhere. It doesn't stop there. You see, the global economic model is very human-centric right now, which is understandable as we have a lot of work to do to serve the underbanked. But what about human-to-human interactions, machine-to-machine interactions, or even process-to-process? There are many types of interactions that buy and sell data that require the sharing of data that we don't even think about today. It just happens under the hood. But there are new business models that can take advantage of these interactions, as I say, trillions and trillions of bytes. Combine those with automation, and now you start to have new models that are ripe for monetization. Automated accounting, automated supply chains using Internet of Things technology and blockchain to verify and unlock payments as each milestone is released. How do we actually know that charitable donations have been spent as intended? How do we hold charities to account to spend their donations, or our donations rather, wisely? How do we protect the vulnerable from scams? So you may be wondering what sorts of areas you could be looking at to create a business on the blockchain. Let me give you some examples so it becomes a little bit more concrete in your mind. Don't worry if you don't have an idea right now. If you are ready to be an entrepreneur and have the qualities that we look for, You don't have to be a techie to create a tech business. At the dojo, we can help you find a tech founder. So what are the qualities that we look for? We look for grit, determination, people who don't give up when things get tough. You have good days and bad days. You have to weather them all. We look for founders who have some sort of link to the business domain that they're creating a product for. For example, if you've done an internship or you used to work for a legal firm, that gives you insights into that domain. It gives you a competitive advantage. People who are personally invested in their idea, who've spent time nurturing it, developing it, not overly concerned with the just getting to the end goal, but also more just as equally focused on delivering a great product and satisfying their consumers. Some of the areas that we know people who are building on within our cohort include sustainability, gaming, and social media, not to mention music and entertainment. So much more content creation. We also have some really interesting applications around advertising and cybersecurity. So you may be working in a corporate environment, but you know what? Those guys will always be there. Why not try a different path? You may have nothing to lose and the absolutely most that you can gain. I'd recommend starting today because you will learn so much more about building a business by creating your own. So depending on what it is that you want to get from your life, it could be the opportunity to experience flying first class. You may want to be a digital nomad. You may want financial independence. You may want to be a philanthropist and look after other people financially. All of these things can be yours. You just need to take a leap of faith. So if you're interested in building a business on blockchain, how do you start? Well, I would start by getting familiar with the existing blockchain products and tools that are out there. So you can download an existing consumer product like Handcash or Twitch, CryptoFights to observe the user experience. What do you like about it? What don't you like? Can it be improved in some way? What problems or needs are these products addressing? Follow some of the B2B and enterprise products out there who are also blazing a trail in this space. We have Unisot that focus on supply chain, Enchain, who specialize in writing data to the blockchain for their clients, Company, who do corporate due diligence and know your customer, and Abendum, who specialize in triple entry accounting. Ask yourself this question: what are they doing to reduce costs, to increase productivity, or increase revenue for their clients? Starts with a problem. Think of your own experience in your day-to-day life. Is there a way that tech can make it better? What about the apps and the products that you use? You don't have to accept a poor or expensive user experience. Those days are over. Could those products that you use today be improved? Write your ideas down and talk to others who may be having a similar problem. Discuss them with friends. Brainstorm ideas. Team up. Take part in hackathons and design jams. Join entrepreneur groups. Perhaps most importantly in all of this, start getting used to feedback that actually tells you where you need to improve. You feel negative, but actually that's gold dust. How can you serve your customers or potential customers better? It'd be hard hearing that your product in its current form might not be perfect, but you've got to get used to it. If you grow a thick skin, you will actually seek out that kind of advice and it will pay dividends. So this could be the start of something wonderful, a great partnership. You with your co-founders and your team with us at the dojo. We are different at the dojo because we will help you find a real-world partner if you need one. We'll also help you find a real-world client. We offer you free mini masterclasses to help you lay the foundations of your business and define the building blocks to success. They are a taster of what you would experience on the full program. Our classes cover 4 main areas. So the first is problem discovery and validation. The second is blockchain fundamentals. We've done all the hard work to research and identify the ideal platform for your needs. That platform is Bitcoin SV. It's a protocol that is fast, it scales, and is low in cost. In fact, the more you use Bitcoin SV, the blockchain protocol, the cheaper it gets. 3, we offer masterclasses, or mini masterclasses rather, in pitch practice. And 4th, we share insights into the funding landscape that are super important and useful for you. To one of our ideation jams, where you will meet potential clients to help you to develop your ideas further. Now, this is really interesting because I actually am hosting an ideation jam on the 23rd of March. So please do get in touch if you're interested in coming along and trying your hand at starting to develop the insights and skills for entrepreneurship. So what exactly does the dojo offer you right now? Well, in addition to everything you see here on the screen, there are 4 specific benefits that the dojo provides. We ensure that there is demand for whatever product you are creating. We help you to avoid the usual pitfalls of a startup. We make sure you get funded at exactly the right time, and we'll help you find a real world client, plus a ton of other support too, as you can see. We offer intensive incubation, as I said before, 12 weeks, condensing 12 months into 12 weeks. That is in person at our dojo in East London. And we carefully select 10 to 15 companies per cohort, with 3 cohorts per year. And finally, you have access to a stable of 80 world-class mentors. It gives us the right to advise and guide startups. What are our credentials? Well, our CEO, Craig Massey, on the left there, and our Chief Investment Officer, James, on the right, have exited in total over 7 companies for a combined 90 million. How many people do you know who have done that? They've made every single mistake you can think of, and a few you can't. So if you're interested in applying to the dojo, we have our next cohort, which takes place at the end of April, and our closing date for applications is Monday, the 21st of March. Our last cohort of the year is accepting applications for our program, which starts in September, and the closing date for that particular cohort is Monday, the 1st of August. So thank you very much for your time today. It's been fantastic talking to you, and I hope to see you very soon.